So on November 3rd or 4th, somewhere around that time, there were a bunch of liberal women who went to D.C. and they did this big march where they were banging drums and dancing up and down the street. And you won't believe the actual reason why they're doing this. They did it so that they could support abortion. Not a good look. All right, my friends, go ahead and smite that like button and the lizard people won't get you. Also, check out our book, Calling Evil Good, The Lie of Christian Rock and Roll, and that is available now on Amazon. Link in the description below of this video. Also, if I can, we have a project coming out, which is actually the desktop on my computer, and I want to give you that. That is going to be coming out soon, and just be on the lookout for a huge announcement this month in October. Excuse me, what month? What am I? Like November. Yeah, November. And be ready for that. So here is this is a tweet from a page called Oli London, and liberal women march through D.C. banging drums to support abortion. And you can see the ladies here with their little rhythms of death and mayhem for everyone, marching through the streets. And I just want you to notice the enthusiasm by which they're doing this. They are very excited. I've seen this several places. I actually saw it on Not the Bee as well. And I want you to notice here, there's a woman back there, she is, that's got a Day of the Dead skeleton thing going on, like from Mexico, where they do that whole deal. And but this is Not the Bee, a little too on the nose. Over the weekend, the 2024 Women's March occurred in D.C. in support of unlimited baby, that nationwide. The march featured a feminist drum line called Batala, banging the drums in support of all of that. And check out this tweet, Gina Cross, 1 Kings 18:26. Then they called on the name of Baal from morning until noontime, shouting, "O Baal, answer us," but there was no kind of any reply. Then they danced, hobbling around the altar they had made. So that's, of course, a Bible verse there. Now, here's the thing I want you to know. It's just so crazy what's going on here with this. I want you to know something that is very sobering and very serious, but I think it needs to be said. Feminism and far-left progressive ideologies like that are a form of paganism. The reason that America was not really historically ever in favor of this stuff, and the reason this stuff came to being after the 60s, was because America historically has been a Christian nation, largely. And I don't mean like everybody who's ever lived in America has been saved or nothing like that. But I want you to know that this whole, feminism and stuff like that is a new thing. It's not, it's new, at least to America. Now, in our documentary series, the Third Adam series, Third Adam 3, Rise of the Divine Feminine, we explain to you that feminism is actually a modern version of an ancient religion called Gnosticism. And Gnosticism teaches something called duality. And basically, it is the occult, repackaged is what it is. And so what the basic idea of this is that women are subservient to men, and that like there's this balance indifference where men have all the power and women are kind of underneath the thumb of men and under the oppression of men. And they preach something called like misogyny or whatever, and they always take on some sort of victim mindset with this. But they believe that they're needlessly and unfairly pushed down under men. And so even we dealt with this with several graphics and charts and things like that. Matter of fact, let me show you that. They believe that, you got that man is above woman, like here. And this is, in a sense, it's kind of a half-truth, because what happens is you have to kind of zoom out and see the bigger picture. What it is that Satan has attacked women because women are very important. I mean, you take women out of society, society will devolve into chaos very quickly. We need women. Women are very valuable creatures. But Satan attacks women, and he sees the reason he attacks them is because they're very valuable. And so God gives women a covering, a protector, and that protector is the godly man. And that's what the Lord has designed the family to be like. He's designed society to be like. And really, any society where good men are not in charge and good men are not in leadership, women suffer greatly. And a lot of these women, I've met several progressive women through the years, very feministic type women, and many of them, if you could maybe put it this way, their origin story or their villain origin story is that they were hurt by a man early on in life, and there was no man to protect them. And so that's basically the story there. But in Third Adam, we explained to you why this is a serious deal, and that women want to rise up from their positions as being under the protection of men, and they want to create something called balance. And let's see if I can find this section here. And so there it is. Women want to break out of God's design of this patriarchy, and they want to rise up to be equal with men. That's what they're going for there. And so I want you to see that with me for just a second.
And be equal with the man.
Feminism is not trying to take from men, but just trying to raise to the same level as what men have.
And just to be clear, being a feminist does not mean that I wish to push down or talk poorly of men.
And that ends up looking something like this.
And so that's your infinity symbol. But one thing that happens when you get into this, when you step away from biblical order, which is Christ being the head, and then man being under Christ, and then Christ or the woman being under the Christian man, is that two things have to go: Christ and children have to go. And so that's the inevitable philosophical conclusion of this ideology, of this religion, this Gnostic thinking. That's the end of it. And so you notice there, when you go from God's order to this balance, this feminism, Gnosticism nonsense, you notice two things end up being missing, and that's the end caps. You end up realize that Christ is missing from their lives and that children is missing from their lives. So these, if I could put it to you in a biblical way, Psalm 2, these heathen rage against Christ and his order. And because they rage against Christ and his order, therefore they don't want children in their lives. And they rage against the idea of having to go back into this form, this order right here. And truth be told, ladies, you're safer there. You step out of that, you get abused, you get hurt, you really, if you step out of that, you lose your own soul. And that's the point of Third Adam 3, and we talked about that. So I want you to know we're gonna deal with some heavy stuff coming up. We've got this project coming up right here. I'll tell you more about that in a bit, but just take a look at that picture. And but in the meantime, I want you to get a copy of our book, Calling Evil Good, the Live Christian Rock and Roll, available now. And check that out. Link in the description below. This thing has gone #1 on Amazon like 5 times. I went probably 7 times now. And so I know you'll enjoy it. Get a copy of that today. And go ahead and smite that like button on this video, subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't become a channel member yet, please become a channel member. We're going to do a lot of channel member live streams going forward. A lot of special videos in there that we don't release to the general public. A lot of good stuff there. So please consider doing that, and that'll be a great thing. God bless you, friend, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.